Hello and welcome back to Colonial Kerbals. Today's episode is going to be a little different. I am going to show you how I get up and do docking with my crafts versus what I've seen online. The main reason for this is that some of them are overly technical and a lot of people just have a hard time with them. So I thought I'd just give it a shot and show you what I do to try to do it within 1 or 2 orbits, so that way I don't have to waste a lot of fuel. So for that, I also had another reason why I wanted to do this. Oops. We'll auto-catalog the parts because I just updated something. I also wanted to add the 5th member to my space station. And we'll go ahead and launch the rescue transfer vessel, which I've made a slight bit of modification to. Nothing too drastic. It's pretty much exactly the same as I remember seeing it before. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and launch this, and when we get back, I'll be in orbit and I'll take over from there. I'll see you in just a second. Okay, I'm back now. As you can see, I'm in orbit, and I do have an encounter, a close encounter, but it's not very close. But I'm not going to worry about that right at this second. Out here at the descending node, I'm going to add a maneuver, and I need to bring my orbit up. Now, in some cases, you don't technically need to match your orbit, but I find it a little easier if I'm on the same plane as the ship or whatever I'm trying to dock to be in the exact same line. And that's only a 3-second burn. Set that for 5 seconds. Now, like I said, this part's not overly important, but it does help get into a pretty close approximation. Now, I could wait until I get here and slow it down, but if I do this... Nope, that's not going to work. Okay. At my apoapsis, take and speed up a little bit. Oops. Speed up. It's hard to tell. There we are. Oh, let's see here. There's what I'm looking for. Okay, so at the apoapsis, bring this out. Come on. Yeah, that's about 4.1 kilometers. I can deal with that. So, I'll aim myself at that maneuver node. And it's a 41-second burn, so we'll say 25 seconds before. And I'm going to cut and then come back to that maneuver node burn so I can show you what I do after that. Okay, I just finished that burn, and what I did is after I get about halfway through the burn, I delete the maneuver, and I really just watch the closest approach markers to see where they come in. And as you can see, I think it was 4.1, I got it down to 0.7. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set another maneuver node right there, and that is going to be the time for me to start slowing down. And the reason that I do it this way is that as I'm coming in, I can adjust this. This will keep pushing out, out, out. But as it's doing it, it's coming more in line with a orbit that you're going to want with the station. Now, as you can see, I've pushed my orbit quite a ways away from where it was originally. I could have actually gotten my orbit up here initially, or I could have done it at a very shallow orbit and then just came up and kept touching. But now I've just got to go around one more time, and I'll hit here, and I should be ready to dock. So I'm going to go ahead and just set an alarm for 1 minute before that maneuver node, and I'll bring you back when I'm just about there. Okay, now you can see I'm getting closer. I've got the target right now at about 35 kilometers and closing. But another thing you'll notice is on the nav ball here, you see where my prograde marker is? It's pointed right at the target. And if I flip, we can go ahead and get rid of that. My retrograde marker is right on the target that I'm looking at. Now, for getting yourself closer to the target, what I do is I pick a point and I try to burn that way to slow it down, but also keep that retro marker right on target. What this will do is that means that as you're coming in, you're actually getting closer to that target, but at a slower pace. And most of this I do from here, so I can watch my encounter. Oops. See, it just went up. So I want to be under it. And it should start going down here. See, it just went down another point. I do have quite a bit of speed I have to burn off. Sorry about that, my keyboard became unresponsive. And I think I just flew past my target. Yes, I did. So, we can burn towards the target. Which will slow us down. Sorry about that, I had a little glitch. But that'll teach us to do something else. Now what we do is we turn this on. Nope, that ain't gonna work either. Okay. Well, let's see how bad we screwed this up. Not too bad. Just push that up. And it's starting to work again. Now normally I don't make this big of a mistake, but this was an unforeseen error on the part of the game, not on me. Okay. Well, now we'll just sit here and wait. There we go. We have ourselves lined up. Now we're facing the right way. And we'll just use this. To speed ourselves up a little bit and get... Oh, that's actually pretty close. But basically you can see what I'm doing is I'm just keeping this as relatively close as possible until I reach the point at which I can get within docking distance. By keeping the retrograde marker on my target, that keeps me within very close proximity to the target. So at this one we'll be 2.4 kilometers, but we'll keep getting closer as that target gets closer. And our periapsis is 113 versus 123. So we're 10 kilometers lower, which means that even if we miss, we should catch right back up again and get back into its same orbit. And we're moving at about 6 kilometers a second, which isn't too bad. We should be hitting its load window here pretty soon. We can't see it though. 2.5. But I'm going to go ahead and cut right here, and when I come back we'll be right near the station. Basically it's going to be the same thing I was just doing, fiddling with that until it gets closer. So we'll see you then. Okay, we're back. I'm back rather, not we're back. And as you can see, the station's actually coming up at us at a relatively steady 2.2 meters a second, and we're about 200 meters away, a little better than 250 meters away. Ow! There, finger had to pop. Now all I do is just keep lowering that speed down, and the more often as I do that, the easier it'll be for me to dock. And you might also notice that stuff has changed on that station, and you'll notice it as I get closer. What has changed? But basically, I want to keep my relative speed low. And this should get me to just about a 0 kilometer encounter. Because once I get within range of the tower, or the space station, I can start picking my docking zone. I just want to make sure that that's still within 0.0 kilometers, which means we'll be right on top of the station. And I'm sure now you can start seeing what has changed. It's gotten a little more colorful, and the hab ring is spinning. There was a pre-release update, and I wanted to try it to see what it looked like. And I do like it. I have to say it is very, very quite well done. So basically all this is now even though it looks like we're going to be on the dark side of the planet, that's fine. We're coming in fairly strong. Now one thing you'll notice is my docking port is underneath my craft. And I have a simple solution for docking this thing. As I get closer, instead of controlling just from the docking port, I'm going to control from the cockpit, which I already am. I'm going to point that at the docking port I want, get real close, then I'm going to tip up so that the docking port's facing the docking port on the station, and I'll proceed to dock that way. It just ensures that I get close enough that I don't have to worry about too much. Sometimes even when I do it, the magnetism as I'm turning grabs that and docks. Let's go ahead and push ourselves towards the station at a half a meter a second, and we're still at 0.0. Now with this, I do like to get very close. Sometimes it might seem like I'm getting too close. Now if you're docking two ships together, nose to tail, I would recommend using the docking adapter to line up your docking ports properly. I actually had to reconfigure my space station with my little claw down here so that they were in line, because otherwise they will fight each other for rotational purposes. And we're going to start cresting. It'll still be pretty bright out. Actually, let's go ahead and give ourselves a little thrust downward. I think we're going to dock with this back port right here. And in case you guys are wondering, yes, I had to revert after I launched. I realized I only had one Kerbal in here. I need 2 Kerbals. And we are going quite fast. Now I could turn on fine controls, which I probably should, but I'm pretty confident in my docking skills now that I can get it right within close proximity of what I want. So we'll set that docking port as my target, and now you see the docking port alignment. Turn off the RCS. We're going to flip ourselves right towards it. Now up here you see this little arrow. That is telling me which way I'd have to rotate to keep this lined up nicely. Oops. Now you could go into chase mode, which I will, just for this. We need to come back. I think. Yep. And over. Down. Oops, down. Now if you don't have the docking adapter, you can do it this way. Just point yourself at the tail of the craft. And basically just get yourself lined up with your docking port. Now, this isn't going to be perfect because obviously my docking port isn't at my nose. but just lining up the green arrow, green line here is your docking port. Now, oops, I hate this thing sometimes. Now, as you can see, I'm almost lined up perfectly that way. I could actually come over a hair. But my ship's not lined up. Okay, so now I am pretty much on target. I'm going to turn that off. Control from here. Control from here. And you notice that I just switched. Now it's basically what I was just doing, just in a little bit different location. Uh-oh. So the only part of this I detest is that trying to line it up this way is not an easy task. Now, because this doesn't have a lot of rotational value, and we should be docked. And there we are, all nice and docked. So now you can see the space station. We'll turn up the ambient light just a touch more. The hab ring is turning. The aeroponics lab is growing stuff. Looks like little apples. The flags look kind of glitchy at times, depending on how close you are. But that's alright. So, we'll take out Jebediah, who's going to be becoming the newest member of the space station. Turn on his lights. He gets the easy job. He's going to be down here all by himself. Inside this little power unit. So hopefully you guys liked the episode. It's something a little different, something I normally don't do. I thought I'd just kind of give you an idea of how I do it. That looks nice with that rotating in the background. I do like it. So yeah, if you did like it, please hit the like button. And of course, favorite and subscribe as always. And no more Jebediah getting into cockpit early. So I now have a base of 5 Kerbals that is producing stuff. It is draining electricity, but that is okay. So until next time, guys, have fun.